In a catchweight fight at UFC Fight Night, you got Journey Newsom coming in at 10-4, taking on newcomer Marcus McGhee, who comes in at 6-1 and is likely getting a shot here in the UFC for the first time because he's got 6 KOs or TKOs in each of those victories. So total. Now, Newsom's 3 inches shorter at 5'5". He's 2 years older, 34 versus 32. Reach, almost identical, 68 inches for Newsom, 69 for McGhee, so that's close. Both guys right-handed. Now, more on Marcus McGhee in a moment. Journey Newsom, 2.8 significant strikes per minute, but he lacks a takedown game. Usually doesn't get a takedown in most fights. He gets like a takedown every 6 rounds. So not much to talk about there. He's got a 43% takedown defense. That shouldn't be a problem here because he's facing a striker. In his last fight, he lost to Sergey Morozov. That was back in December by unanimous decision. He did beat Fernie Garcia, but overall in the UFC, the guy's 1-3. He had 1 no contest, so struggled just a little bit. Now, the Maniac, a.k.a. Marcus McGhee, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona. Again, 6 KOs or TKOs, 1 in each of those wins. He did lose once by rear naked submission, and that loss was to Rafael do Nascimento. Now, in his last fight, he fought an LFA 149. Most of the other fights are smaller promotions, but he did fight an LFA and beat Luciano Ramos by TKO. That came in the 3rd round. So he did have a good challenge there, got the job done in a bigger setting. So I guess the UFC and Dana White feel comfortable to bring him in here. Now, this is a very tough fight to predict. The problem for Newsom so far is that he's not very active. Again, 2.8 significant strikes per minute, well below the average. Not many takedowns, but he should fare better against a non-UFC fighter. But this is a situation where, and you know me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going with the veteran. But he's not much of a veteran, and he's 1-3 in the UFC. So I'm going to take a shot here. I think Marcus McGhee could come in and get the job done. A lot of times the UFC will just put someone in this situation because they need him pretty bad. And it's clear they need Marcus McGhee here because it's a catchweight fight, right? And I'm pretty sure Journey Newsom's coming up a few pounds because McGhee normally around 140, Newsom 135. So I believe Newsom's coming up a few pounds, but listen, at the end of the day, this is a perfect entryway, for Marcus McGhee to face a guy like Journey Newsom. If he can get the win here, he'll be excited coming in. But if he can get the win, he might be in the UFC and back for another one, right? But I like Marcus McGhee here, not only to win, but to win by KO, to move to 7-1, 1-0 in the UFC, and welcome. We'll figure out what weight class he'll be in next, whether it be bantamweight, or featherweight, but in my opinion, he wins his fight by KO here in a catchweight fight at UFC Fight Night.